Cub. first comment. That's right, Synth. You're on the line. I'm gonna check something real quick. Alright. Dom being like, nope, it's bad. Piece of shit.
The movie is perfect.
Movie's perfect. What's going on? It's Spider Dunk on my account that I pay for YouTube Red. Oh, sweet. What's up?
Alright.
Deadpool and Wolverine is just gas.
RDJ, Doom, good or bad? It's weird.
I
don't know shit. I don't really care that much either. I don't know shit about Doctor Doom, so I don't even know if it's good casting, but it is just weird to cast Iron Man as Doctor Doom.
That is right. Spider Dunk, we defending. Grandpa SK. Okay. Deadpool and Wolverine was great. Absolutely.
What's up, Jaden? Disagreement Day 13 was so funny. SK was like, who the fuck is Joe? It's based of the comics where Tony was Doctor Doom. If that's what they're doing, then I guess, but it just sounds weird. They were saying that Deadpool and Wolverine gets assassinated. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, the usual.
I'd love to know how the Wolverine we never met before got assassinated. I'd love to know.
I remember talking with Cinema Seeker about it, how they could have tried like using Superior Iron Man, and how he like in his timeline he successfully creates the suit of armor around the world and how that corrupts him. I think that could be an interesting idea.
For Secret Wars or Doomsday or whatever they're calling it?
Well, yeah, whatever, like the next Avengers event.
Yeah,
because
I mean that could be
that would be interesting.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I wonder, because I saw people saying this. Do you think Tom Holland's Spider-Man is gonna look at him like, "Wait, what the fuck? Tony's a villain here? That's crazy, bro."
I mean, I think.
Or do you think they're just gonna treat it as if they'd never recasted him and it's just a completely different guy?
No, if they're bringing Robert Downey Jr. back, there has to be a joke. I mean, it's multiverse shit, right? So, yeah. I imagine he's probably a variant. It's like, wow, he looks like Tony Stark.
Yeah. Love your car video. It was really different from your regular videos. Thank you. Need more IRL videos? Nah. People don't really care for him, I guess. My car, the car video only got like 2,000 views. What the fuck is that?
Smokey says Critical Drinker said Logan's and Wade's characters were assassinated. All right, fam.
Looks like a response video may be impending.
Write that down.
You fat. The Amazing Lucas versus Noodles.
Ooh.
I don't think Lucas is gonna lose that. You seen what Mauler had to say? I didn't watch it, but I've heard he said some dumb shit. Eating food, low-key trash. The French cannot cook. Damn, bro. Let's get some French toast.
I mean, all I'll say is, like, I don't think he's had much luck going after these multiverse installments, because, like, I remember he implied, like, all the variants of Peter Parker were out of character for siding with Miguel. And then he's like, actually, I haven't seen any of their stories, so... It's like, how do you know then?
French toast is American? Yeah, I know.
Smokey says, where's the SK room tour? I don't know, where's the Smokey Boy Java application?
Thoughts on the new Deadpool movie? 9 out of 10. Maybe a 10. Alright. while we wait for people to join the disagreement day, I guess. What do you want to start with? What we liked about it?
Yeah, we can start with what we liked about it. This might be Deadpool's best arc in the movie, or sorry, in the trilogy. Deadpool's very good. Wolverine, this version of Wolverine, is also very good. If it wasn't clear already, we're spoiling all of this. So
yeah.
I love the cameos. They didn't seem like too much in your face, but also they were like satisfactory. They were fun to have. It felt very much it was naturally integrated into the story.
Yeah.
I thought
I
they
love
did a good job with Laura.
The Channing Tatum thing had me fucking crying, dude.
Dude, I loved when he came in and said, "I am the last Gambit."
Yeah, I love how Deadpool kept making fun of his accent. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Dude, I love when he was trying to kind of meet Riot Blade. And he was like, "Yeah, I thought you were kind of retired." He's like,
you call me retarded. That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah.
But of course, people gotta be fat about that.
Oh man.
What's it called? Yeah, I really like Deadpool's arc and how he's like, how after Deadpool 2, he's kind of like lost his purpose. He doesn't really know what to do, so he tries to do something bigger, joining the Avengers. And then after that, after he gets denied that, he kind of gets depressed, and he's like going through a midlife crisis in the midst of that. And then by the end, he finds his purpose with Wolverine and helping him out and saving the world as well. But he was gonna,
because they need
yeah. And he was gonna sacrifice himself right before that. And then I like how I really love the scene with Laura and Wolverine. And how like when she walks away, he's like I'm the wrong guy, and she says you were always the wrong guy. Like after watching Logan, that shit hits so fucking hard. And I love when Cassandra is going through Wolverine's head and she's like trying to bring out the bad side of him, because like she's like I really like how they use like they mix her writing or her writing is like a mix of like Xavier and Magneto, and I thought it was really like an evil version of both of them mixed together. And she was trying to bring out the bad side of Wolverine, while Charles was trying to bring the good side of him, and his like his character kind of has some development in that scene where he doesn't kill her, and because Charles never did that to like Magneto, for example. Just because someone stumbles and loses their way doesn't mean they're lost forever, like kind of thing. Like that shit was fire. I really love that. And like by the end, Wolverine joins a family again with Deadpool's group, which is a great conclusion to the movie.
Let's see. Comic accurate Wolverine was so funny. Yeah, I was dying when I saw him jump
Dude,
down.
That shit was so fucking funny. I won't lie, some of like the modern-esque jokes, some of them didn't land for me, but then some of them did at the same time. Like when Deadpool was like, I don't want to smoke and shit. I was like, that's not really modern. People have been saying that for a while, but like, or I forget what part of the movie, but he was like, who the hell let this guy cook? I was like, dude, that's just so fucking silly coming out of Deadpool's mouth.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, someone just said, why does Deadpool beef with bald people?
The Council of Bald. Sean, thank you for the $5, Victor. Sean Chandler's vid on the RDJ Doom Dilemma has a great take on it. 6:30 to 19:30. Appreciate it if you check it out. Maybe we can discuss the take. I don't really care that much, to be honest. Thank you for the $5 though. I wish we could have seen more of that Hulk fight. Oh, that was also, yeah, that was fun. I like how right before he got slapped, he tried to do the Loki thing. Shit was hilarious.
My favorite joke was the Johnny Storm flame on joke. It was perfect. Yeah, that was perfect. I already had a feeling like this is gonna be Johnny Storm. When I saw him, I even saw a little bit through the suit underneath. But yeah,
I do wonder.
hilarious.
I do wonder if Mueller thinks Deadpool was assassinated for getting him killed. I wonder if he just didn't watch the post-credit scene. But even if that post-credit scene wasn't there, I don't think it's out of character for Deadpool to do what he was doing.
Well, yeah, I think it just makes sense that he's just trying to get on Cassandra's good side and being like, see, I'm willing to point out, when this guy's being a dick or whatever. And on top of that, right, I don't think Deadpool was expecting her to just rip his skin off immediately. He doesn't even know she could do that. He's completely caught off guard by that when it happens.
Dude, when she did that shit was fucking hilarious. I do really like how this movie utilized that R rating. I was scared they were gonna pussy out with it, but honestly, I think they utilized it better than like even Logan. Like the shit that they were doing with it, like at least action sequence wise. Like some of the shit that they did in the movie, I was like, God damn, holy shit.
I loved the fight with Deadpool and Wolverine versus the Deadpool Corps. That was fire.
That was fire. I was wondering. The one thing I feel like someone might ask is like, why did it take them all so long to regenerate or whatever? But like right before that,
part of their troll.
Well, yeah, I mean, like right before that, it establishes that the good Deadpool doesn't have a healing factor at all. So I think it's fair to be like, yeah, their healing factor is just not as good as this Deadpool's.
Oh yeah, well, the reason I assume that it's kind of a coordinated, like, I guess, trick is because they all come up at like the same time. That's where my assumption comes from.
Logan's more realistic. How
I'd
though?
Agree.
Like
Logan, I mean, just with the nature of like the whole TVA shit, all the different.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's way more.
You're saying it's more grounded. Yeah, I get it. Dogpool was the best part.
What a cute little puppy.
That shit was funny. Alright, we got someone waiting. So
Alrighty.
Captain Jerk Pants.
Hello?
Hello.
What is your disagreement and tell me why?
I just wanted to say that your hair is looking very beautiful today.
Oh my god, this guy again.
My bad.
My agree.
Okay, so I do have a disagreement this time, though.
Okay, what is your disagreement and tell me why?
I'm ready to fill my water.
So basically, I disagree that the handsome Deadpool didn't have a healing factor.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll leave you with that.
Okay. Alright, bro. Jack Kentner.
Hello,
Welcome back.
What is your disagreement and tell me why?
Okay, well, it's going to be on Deadpool Wolverine. I will say there are aspects I enjoyed about it, but I still found some hiccups with it that I'm going to share with you. And I'm going to do another historic first for this show or this stream. I actually wrote down my points so I can actually communicate them effectively.
Let's go.
I thought that was kind of an issue I noticed last week. People kind of forgot their disagreements. Yeah, but before that, I want to say how brave you two are, because apparently some people think that this is right-wing propaganda. Have you heard
Really?
about that? Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard people say, well, there was some political talk, but it's not very heavy from what I've seen.
Yeah. There's a tweet kind of verbalizing what I'm saying. If I have your permission to read it out.
No, go for it.
It's nothing bad, but like they can get taken off for, but I'll just read it out now. A Marvel movie being weirdly conservative and reactionary in this cultural moment makes total sense because there's a real overlap of Marvel fans and the contemporary right in terms of anti-intellectualism and nostalgia pandering. Blade saying retarded is clearly pandering to the culture war right, who are going to wet themselves at the prospect of their beloved theme park movies finally eschewing wokeness. That and the ceaseless homophobia is so regressive, and I feel we're backsliding culturally. What are your thoughts on that?
So that's one of the worst points I've heard against the movie. I think that might be the worst point I've heard against the movie.
Is that even against the movie, or is it just like a?
It's against the movie.
It is against the movie because it's saying, like, it's leaning into right wing whatever shit because.
As if they don't have Deadpool getting his ass slapped and shit, and fucking like.
At one point, he admires Wolverine's abs too.
Well, yeah, he's
clearly
like
portrayed as like into guys.
Well, not even.
He's always been portrayed as into guys in these movies. I felt.
Yeah,
I don't even know if
like people are misreading the R word joke scene where.
Yeah, he doesn't. Blade in context doesn't even call anyone that. He just mishears.
The joke
just
is
says,
like, did you just call me retarded? Did you just call me that word? Like, that's the joke here. It's like if you were to try to take, like, I'll give an example, right? In Spider-Man PS4, when Martin Lee says, "Where's the reporter?" in Chinese, it sounds like he's saying the N-word somewhere in there. So if I were to make a joke and say, did he just say the N-word? By that logic, I'm leaning into hard right-wing shit or whatever the fuck that tweet said.
Yeah,
I don't know.
To me, it took a pretty apolitical approach, in terms of commentary, which I liked. But apparently, people want to be pandered to, so they just call it right wing for whatever reason.
Dude,
but like in terms of positives,
that it was taking a political side. They just make jokes.
I think they honestly just make fun of both like things. Like
they did.
Like I love when Nice Pool is like, I identify as a feminist. Like that shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah, what I liked most about the movie is how much it shat on the Disney and the MCU. That was definitely the highlight for me.
I loved how they mixed it, like after Deadpool was like during the final battle, Deadpool was like, because we all know this shit's been a fucking shit show, and then Nice Pool's like, I think everything after Endgame's been good. Like that shit was great. Like
yeah, that was definitely the most interesting thing about the movie for me. Deadpool's arc of wanting to be a part of the MCU, and he talks to Paradox, who's supposed to be the Disney. It's not stated outright. This is implied. It's meta. It's a meta thing. He's sort of the Disney executive stand-in. He was kind of leveraging him getting into the MCU, but over the course, he realizes that the Fox MCU is valuable in its own right, and that's not worth abandoning or to sell out to be part of the MCU. It's just a meta thing that I sort of appreciated.
Yeah.
But in terms of criticisms, I mainly have 4 off like that I've written down.
All right.
And I guess we can start with Cassandra Nova. I liked her as a villain. But let's just start with that. She's a pretty not well known and kind of underrated character in the comics. So I'm glad that she's getting more attention. But I felt that she was really overpowered compared to the rest of the cast. For instance, like we saw how we saw how easily she can kill someone. She showcases telekinetic abilities capable of snapping necks or just ripping people's skin off, like you guys were mentioning before with Johnny.
Yeah.
But when she encounters a main character, all she can seemingly do is just ragdoll them by tossing them around a little.
I don't
it's
think
not
she
really-
necessarily. I think she just kind of likes to fuck with people because she knows she's just that powerful. And there's never really a moment where she's in danger except for when she gets caught off guard by Deadpool.
Yeah, like
Right,
I think
but
you're
like,
referring to when she pushes them, like she's putting her hand on the guy's head and she's like, you know, pushing him to say
Paradox.
goodbye. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
what's happening there is that she just kind of wants to mess with them, and that's why the Deadpool core is sent as well. That's why the portal opens, and she has the sling ring to bring them.
Right, but isn't that also sort of just like be unnecessarily just adding on an unnecessary risk because she's trying to she's trying to take over the rest of the multiverse. So if there's a chance that she'll interrupt that process, then that could be really bad for her. And she knows that there's still a risk, which is why she brings the Deadpool core in when they're not really that necessary because she can just rip them apart, even if they have even if they can regenerate. If she just destroys their heads or something like that, she can easily kill them.
Well, I would argue that she could do that, yes, but she also wants to make it like interesting to some degree. Like she doesn't just do that all the time. She even says like when sending them over back to Deadpool's world, it's like, okay, let's make it interesting. I'm gonna send a cloud after you. You gotta make it there in time. I don't think she likes to do things as in like, all right, get this out of the way, you know, like straight away. I think what's going on there is that she thinks it would just be more interesting to send literally versions of Deadpool himself against him.
Well, I think it's also like she doesn't just do things straight to the point. Like even when she's like straight up like the first time they meet her, like she's not straight up just like, all right, well, we need to feed you. She doesn't put them out on sticks and like leaves them out there. She like reads Deadpool's mind and stuff and like starts talking to them kind of like in a sick and twisted way, like Charles, like the opposite of Charles. Whereas like she reads his thoughts and shit and wants to like analyze people and like view them because she sees this as like interesting. So I think it's very much in her character that she does this kind of thing, especially since she grew up in the void and, you know, with her power level being what it is, she just like most of this stuff would just be an inconvenience to her. So she might just be trying to have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. It to me, she clearly wants both Wade and Logan dead. Like she clearly meant to kill them with the Anthean, the entity, in the void. But
well, she only did that because it's not like she like wants them dead out of like spite or anything. If anything, she wanted to use Wolverine. That's what they see. But like once he's like not cooperating, she's just like, all right, well, we're just gonna use you for rent, whatever. It's
right,
not like a I need to kill you type thing.
Yeah, but if she's going to like go to different universes anyway, then isn't this Wolverine kind of expendable because she could just get another one?
Wouldn't that support my point?
How so?
What do you mean, how so?
So this specific Wolverine is a threat to her, but if she gets him out of the way,
she never said he was a threat.
If she succeeds in her plan, she can simply go to conquer another dimension and just get a new one.
She never said that he was a threat.
Well, she clearly treated him as one because she enlisted the Deadpool Corps to get rid of him.
Let's try to play out the scenario real quick. So, yeah, she could probably just like rip their skin off, rip their head apart, you know, whatever. She could do that, but at the same time, while she's down there doing the time destroyer thing, they're probably just gonna heal up, and you'll need to deal with them anyway. So I feel like the Deadpool core is just a good way of stalling them.
Well, again, like she could just crush their brains, or just like take away all of Wolverine's skin and just leave his adamantium skeleton, and they won't be able to do anything.
Right, but we don't see her doing things much very like efficiently. Like she likes, like I said before, like she kind of likes to have fun with shit.
Well,
Also,
she killed Johnny pretty efficiently.
Well,
Yeah, but what does like Johnny have to offer? Plus she says that plus she says that she's been looking for like this group for a while, so there might be something pent up there.
Well, right. Well, you kind of just argue against your own point, because he did have something to offer by telling him where the resistance is, but she, like, after Wade like lied about him, like talking shit about her, she got mad and just killed him in a fit of rage.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
well, like what happened with because last they left off, she actually let them go, and then once she found out what she was capable of in terms of the time destroyer thing, I forget what it's called, but,
Time Ripper.
Yeah, the Time Ripper. Once she gets that idea, she's just like, goodbye. They didn't like do anything to directly antagonize her at that point, so I think she's fine with just stalling them. I don't even think she particularly wants them dead, because we remember earlier she says, escaping, I can live with that, but coming back, and she always found them like interesting to some degree anyway.
Yeah, but there's interesting, or finding something interesting, and then understanding that they're a direct threat to your plans and could potentially kill you.
Right, but that's why the Deadpool core was sent over.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I guess this is just a difference in what we think is getting the job done. Because I kind of felt that if she were serious, she would have just stayed and see them dead personally. But I guess there's no way she could have known that the Deadpool core could have just
lost.
No, well, not simply lose, but just have Peter come in and tell them all, like, and get them all to just surrender.
Well, I wanted to go back to the thing with the why doesn't she like scan his brain or whatever? Chris Evans, Johnny Storm, to find the resistance. I don't know if it's explicitly stated or whatever that she even cares to find them right now.
Yeah, because she doesn't consider them a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's
I actually
never. That's what I was saying.
That.
Well, yeah, but that's what I was.
Yeah.
That's the point that we were on before SK started. Talking about the final battle. But yeah, is that everything?
Well, there's 3 more points if you want to hear them.
Yeah, we'll hear them.
Well, which one do you want to hear? I have one regarding the sling ring mechanics or Wolverine's motivations.
We'll do the sling ring first.
Yeah.
I think that should be quick.
Okay. Yeah. So something they did was, even though they make fun of the multiverse logic, they still utilize the MCU multiverse for the film with the TVA. And to me, that really hinders a whole lot because, for instance, it contradicted previously established rules on sling rings, which can now make a portal both through time and to parallel universes. So, as they were previously established in Loki, as previously established in Loki, the void is actually the very end of time itself in the sacred timeline, with Aboleth, the entity that Cassandra tries to feed Logan and Wade to. It consumes the universe in all existence, but the TVA uses this fact as a convenient dumping ground for everything, since it cannot affect anything and will be inevitably destroyed. So when Cassandra uses the sling ring, she is making a portal through time,
somewhere in the past, and we know this because the void is very far into the future, the end of time. So, and on top of this isn't the end of time for every universe, but instead of the sacred timeline universe. So on top of time travel, the portal moves to alternate universes, since the Deadpool universe is not the sacred timeline. And this is all in stark contradiction to what we saw in Doctor Strange, or really anything related to Doctor Strange, where he could only time travel with a time stone, and universe hopping was pretty much forbidden outside of America Chavez's power and dream walking, both of which weren't done with a sling ring. And that's the entirety of that point.
Okay.
So
So there's something interesting about that actually.
Okay.
So when I was watching the film, I was like, oh shit, that's a sling ring. I noticed something that was kind of different from.
I was
what
about
we're-
to say. Well,
Yeah,
I was about to say this.
Yeah. I noticed that the colors on the sides, there was like a red and I think red and green stuff on the sides, which we didn't see for Doctor Strange's. That to me indicates that it's a different sling ring, so it's not the same one we're used to in the MCU.
I would also say another thing to add to that, like without, even if we didn't have the whole, it's a different sling ring. You said that the void or whatever it's called is like the end of time or whatever, right? It's like a dead zone.
Yeah, that's why the TVA is comfortable just dumping undesirables down there.
Right. So if it's a dead zone, that doesn't mean that time around it or like around the universe is stopping, because she opens it to a different universe, right?
A different universe in the past, yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be the past. It would just be what it is.
Well, no, the sacred. So the void is the sacred timeline in the far, far future, like either thousands or millions of years into the future, and
But
but
the sacred timeline doesn't. Doesn't the sacred timeline? Isn't there like no longer one? Wasn't that destroyed in Loki season 1?
Yes, but I'm
Loki's a mess.
But also, that even if it is that timeline, that doesn't mean that the other timelines just, you would have to go back into the past to enter a point in that point. You know what I mean? Because if it's a dead zone and time is just moving, then it wouldn't really matter if they open a portal to that dimension, because they wouldn't need to go into the past, because the time would work differently in different universes.
but still in the far future. So
Yeah,
how
so
is
it's
it?
the
How
future
are they
for
able to
that.
specify it?
It's the
How
future
are
for that timeline, not Deadpool's timeline.
I know, I understand, but how are they able to specify it from like the far future to current day?
What do you mean?
So obviously they're like Deadpool's time setting isn't the same as the time setting in the Void. So like Deadpool's setting is set in current day, and the Void is the far future, as we previously established. So how is it able to specify the time?
Well, I mean,
Like
when
the
they
time frame.
come back, it doesn't exactly specify what time, how long Deadpool has been away from his world in his universe time.
Right, but how are they able to get back specifically to the time that he left, and not like a year later, like 10 years later?
Well,
Or
Well, I mean, it
at a
doesn't.
period
It
of time
doesn't.
when everyone's dead.
It doesn't even really. Oh wait, are you talking about how they come back and the family's buying the car or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, but that deal, that car deal closed like later, because Wade was doing the test drive with the family, and he and Peter both go home, assuming they're off their shift, right?
I guess.
Peter's at the birthday party, so that test drive thing happened later. So it wasn't the exact same time.
Well, I would also
Yeah.
assume that in universe the magic's able to intuit like which time you want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Because like they don't know how to use this thing like down to a T like Doctor Strange would, but he would just be like, okay, I want back in my world as he would remember it. So the sling ring would just intuit like, okay, bring him to where whatever time it would
I mean,
be.
they're not even the ones using it. It was Cassandra that was using it.
Well, yeah, but she's doing this within like Deadpool's wish.
To go to his world. Well, I mean, it would be her wish too, because she wants to go there as well.
Well, yeah, but it's based on what Deadpool wants, so I'm assuming that the sling ring that's what the sling ring's basing it off of.
Okay.
But yeah, like my main thing with the sling ring is that it's doing things it wasn't previously capable of, like in the prior times we've seen it used. And if it's established to be a different sort of sling ring, I guess it's not an inconsistency, but it's up for
Well, I mean, it's the
future
same
writers
thing
to establish it to not be an inconsistency and sort of like communicate that, I guess, or properly establish it.
I mean, I'd say it's the same thing as like Guardians 3. Like the guy has a sling ring, but it just doesn't work the same as some of the other sorcerers' sling rings.
Yeah. Do you think you can remind me how it works in Guardians 3?
In Guardians 3, he can't use it far away. He can't
it's
open a
visually
port from
different.
far away. Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel that sort of limitation might be understandable because it might be a skill issue. But I can also see that you can also make the argument that maybe being able to travel through dimensions and time could also be like a skill thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to move on to Wolverine?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, in regards to Wolverine, I didn't think he was completely character assassinated, but I do feel as though he acted inconsistent a bit, and also like I didn't like how his little arc was resolved. So Wolverine's whole reason for being on this adventure in the movie is because he's holding out hope that he can reverse the bad ending of his world. But in the end, some literal who from TVA tells him that if they change his world using time hijinks, then he won't be the man he is now. Despite undoing that mistake being such a big motivation for him, he doesn't really react to it other than move his eyebrows. For some reason, he didn't seem to really mind, but in every other scene, he seized over it because it's that important to him.
Well,
He
that's
just gets
because...
I'm not finished yet.
Okay.
He gets put with Laura in the end, and the film just hopes you don't notice. It just seems like a pretty out of character thing for him, considering the lengths he was willing to go through in Days of Future Past to stop the apocalyptic future from happening. It's also pretty out of character a bit for Wade, considering the entire plot of Deadpool 2 is him changing the past to prevent a terrible future. Why exactly didn't the TVA involve themselves in either of those two scenarios if they know if they were always in the Fox MCU? I don't know, and I'm hoping you guys can shed some light on that.
Well, for the TVA thing, we know that they don't intrude if the thing is supposed to happen. So, for all we know, what Deadpool did was supposed to happen. Like, because even the guy says, yeah, that's not what we're here to talk about. So I'm assuming they just don't care about it, because it was probably supposed to happen.
Because remember, he did destroy it as well. He destroyed the watch.
Yeah. As far as Wolverine being out of character, I don't see how that's out of character. I think that's the point of that is moving on from his past and, growing, developing as a character. And when she says, because without your past, you wouldn't have become the man you are today. And Wolverine just accepts that because, yeah, he grew and developed as a character. Earlier in the movie, yes, that was his motivation, but motivations change as you change as a person. And when he changed as a person, he didn't need that anymore.
So, but wouldn't that criticism also apply to Logan from Days of Future Past?
Why?
Because, like, you could just say, oh, you've struggled, well, savor that because it allows you to grow as a person.
Huh?
I mean, that's pretty much what she says to him. Oh, like
In Days of
so if
Future
Days of
Past,
Future
Logan
Past
had
is
to go
trying to
back in
prevent
time.
in Days of Future Past, Logan is trying to prevent a bad outcome where most of humankind and mutant kind is eradicated by the Sentinels. Like, this is obviously a bad outcome that nobody wants. So that's why he goes back into the past to prevent it. And yeah, and so why? So just like how he wouldn't accept that bad outcome, why should the Logan from?
Because these are two different people.
I well, not really, because they still have the same moral compass.
They have
Not
similar
entirely.
characteristics, but they're not the same people.
Because this one is more reflective of Logan, like, earlier on in, like, the first X-Men movie, but before, like, Charles really had the chance to change him as a person.
Well, he did meet Charles briefly.
No, yeah, he lived with them and he just wouldn't change. Like in X-Men 1, Wolverine changed. He joined the X-Men. This Wolverine never did.
Right, but he's still the type
Never
of character
changed.
that is driven by his motivations to get a task done, like the Wolverine in Days of Future Past.
Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean they're the same people that have to react to the same thing. That doesn't mean it's inconsistent or out of character. Because at the end of the day, they are different characters. And if this Wolverine is accepting, yeah, I wouldn't have gotten to this point. I wouldn't have saved this world if none of that stuff never happened to me. Then who knows if I would just make the same mistake back then. He's accepting it and moving on.
Yeah, well, all right. I guess we're not going to agree on Logan's character, but what would you have to say about like Wade? Because obviously, like a big character aspect for him in Deadpool 2 is trying to change Rusty, or attempting to change Rusty's future so that he doesn't turn into a villain, and he's trying to convince Cable to not kill him. He spends the entire film trying to do that, but when the TVA lady tells him you can't change, they can't change the future, etc. Like it's just weird because he literally did that in the previous movie.
Yeah, but that one's completely out of his, like, that's just out of his control. And if Logan accepts that thing, because if Logan accepts it, then why would he do that for him?
If Logan accepts it, then why would he do it for him?
Like, yeah, if Logan's moving on from it, and Deadpool doesn't even have the power to do it, then why is that out of character?
Because like he literally did something just like that, and like it's just weird that he wouldn't say that. Like, I don't agree with that. It's weird that he wouldn't say anything like, I don't agree with that logic. I saved a kid from going down the road of being a villain.
And he just saved this Wolverine as well.
Both in the case of Rusty, he changed the timeline.
Who the fuck is Rusty?
Russell.
He's the
Russell.
yeah. In the comics, he's called Rusty. Like, but
okay.
Rusty Russell, same thing.
Yeah, what was the point with Russell?
So Cable went back in time in Deadpool 2 to kill him as a kid, because in the future he becomes a villain that kills Cable's family. And Deadpool doesn't like the idea of him being killed, so he bonds with him and tries to set him on this the right path, so Cable doesn't feel the need to kill him. And by the end, because he
felt a similar connection to like abuse as a child, like him, with him, and he did help Wolverine. Like that's the fundamental core of the ending. He helped Wolverine, and if Wolverine doesn't go and change, for exactly what they say. If they go back and change the past, then Logan will change as well, and he may not become the man he is today.
I suppose
Logan,
something worth bringing up too. Deadpool doesn't change the abuse the child went through. He's changing like where he is right now.
Okay.
So
But
it would
that's
be,
still
like, similar
changing
with
him
Logan.
from. I know that he's not changing the abuse he felt, but he's still changing the like how he becomes as a person. Like he doesn't let the abuse he felt turn him into a villain.
yeah, and it's the same thing with Wolverine. If he goes back, let's say he even has the power to do this, right? And he goes to change Logan again in his when they reset the timeline or whatever from his past. How would that why would he do that, right? When he didn't do that with Russell. He changed Wolverine. He helped change him.
Yeah, well, in Days of Future Past, Logan in that movie, he saves the day, but still has the memories of both during that time as like in the apocalypse. Like he remains the same character all throughout, even when
That
he
was different.
saves
That was a different
his
power.
universe. So it's assuming that he won't be the same person if he doesn't save his friends.
Nope.
And
That's
I
a
think
different-
that's
nope.
a faulty reason.
That was a different power.
Yeah, I understand that. So why can't they find like different means to go back in time and undo that mistake?
Because I don't know if that's how the
Well, how would they
TVA
do that?
operates.
I understand that, but I don't see why he would drop that as a motivation to undo his mistake and to save the X-Men.
But we explained it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he would just be caught in a
it's
loop
not
at that
really.
point.
I'm sorry.
Well, at that point, you would just be caught in a loop. It's like, all right, he goes back in time and saves them from whatever happened, and then it's like, okay, so is this gonna happen again? I mean, wouldn't that create a paradox too? The fact that Logan gets sent back there to change what happened to himself.
I mean, not really.
Well,
I
I mean,
get-
if you
that's-
change
that's
that
kind of an
entire,
assumption.
if you change his backstory, how can he be there to do that?
Like
How could he have had his?
Because
character
I mean,
developed?
even remember looking at Days of Future Past. You know how when he had to get transported like how many years in the future? It was like some amount of years. Like he
It
lost
was decades. And
Yeah.
even with this in mind, like people question the ethics of actually doing the time travel to begin with, because that can prevent people from being born and shit like that.
when Wade like takes this Logan from his universe, he doesn't really ask if he's interested or not. He just kidnaps him, and Paradox just goes, "Oh, we don't need both of you," and just sends them off. Like Paradox could have sent that Logan back to his home universe, but he chooses not to. So there's no guarantee to say that if he brings him back, if Wade helps Logan undo his mistake, that doesn't necessarily mean that he won't like bring him back again and only to save the day again.
what?
I'm confused.
Like
where
you're assuming that like him's like Wade helping Logan undo, like try to save the X-Men would change him into a person that's not willing to help Wade save his own universe or not kill Cassandra. But I don't see that.
Not kill Cassandra.
Well, because remember, his transformation to begin with was because of everything that he lost. Like that had to set him in the motion of doing that, of being more heroic. I mean, it's kind of like, let's say, you know, why would Spider-Man, should Spider-Man just save Uncle Ben in the past if he had the ability to do that? It's like, well, how do you know Spider-Man's going to be, he's still going to be a
Spider-Man.
hero at that point.
But
And all the
we
people
already
he
know
saved and
that
stuff.
we already know that Wolverine is heroic even with the X-Men.
Not this Wolverine.
Yeah, not this one. This one let his entire
How
world down,
so?
and the entire Well, remember, the X-Men called for him. He ignored it, and
Yeah, and
They
he
all
regrets
died.
that. Yeah, and
well, yeah,
and he regrets that and wants to
Yeah, he
undo it.
regrets that after it happens. But once
Right,
if
but
he
if
does it, who knows if the same thing will just happen again?
right, but if he does it, if he helps them, then that keeps him on the right track of being a hero.
Well, how would it do
Okay.
that?
How would he, if he goes back and changes the
Do you
things?
not think that the standard Fox MCU Wolverine with the X-Men is heroic?
Not this one.
Well, why wouldn't he be heroic? I just don't get it.
Because he's a different
He's
person.
a different person.
Clearly not that different. Like, he has a lot of the same traits and
This one is called
and
the
motivations
Worst
as the other
Wolverine,
one.
and he's nothing compared to the Logan of the Foxverse.
Okay, well, Laura seems to disagree because she bonds with him a lot.
What does that have to do with anything?
You're saying that he has nothing in common with the other
I didn't.
Logans,
So
but
I
he clearly does. Like, he clearly does.
No.
Why
I
would
think
Laura-
I think the main thing he has in common is not wanting to get close to people because of his fear that they'll die around him. I feel like that's the motivating factor for why he wouldn't even join the X-Men to begin with. But at the end of the day, he wasn't a hero. He didn't do anything when they called him. When they wanted him to help, when they wanted him to help, when they wanted him to change, that didn't happen.
And he wants it to be a hero now, so he's going to change.
Yeah, now is different
He's
from
going
then.
to change
He
the
wouldn't have
past to become a hero.
if he goes back, right? We don't know if he would be able to become the same man. He's gone through these events, he accepted this, and he made the change.
So him going back to the past to become a hero will mean that we don't know whether he becomes a hero or not.
Well,
What?
Well, yeah.
That's essentially where you're arguing.
No,
He wants to go back to the past to become more of a hero, but you're arguing that if he goes back to the past to become a hero, we don't know if he's going to become a hero or not.
If he saves the X-Men, he doesn't experience the loss that made him a hero to begin with. Yeah. And also on top of that, like, I feel like just in general, to even go back to very crucial events like that, you're kind of walking on eggshells. I mean, who's to say that you even stop Paradox because of going back in time like this? Like, that could be very destructive to everything.
Okay, but this logic applies to like Logan, like the Logan and X-Men Days of Future Past too.
Not really.
Why
There's
are
no choice at that point.
I want to know why we're comparing it to Days of Future Past when they just blatantly are different characters.
Not really. They're not really that different.
Okay, let's go with it. Let's go with it.
The only thing that's different is that he doesn't take up a call to arms to help his friends.
Well, okay.
That's really the only major difference.
Let's discount that for now. I would still argue that the situation in Days of Future Past is drastically different. Like, they had no choice at that point. It was either they all get genocided, or you go back in time and you try something.
Okay,
there's not really anything you could do that would, like, destroy reality. That's not how they present the time travel. The only way you can really cause something, like, really destructive to happen is if you end up allowing the mutants to get genocided, that's happening anyway. So at that point, you really have no choice but to go back in time. Whereas with this context, going back and changing this Wolverine, that could change the course. Like, that could change the history of the whole film. That could make it so they don't beat Paradox.
Hold on.
Hold
on. Thank you for the $5, Jonesy. Didn't this Wolverine say he killed bad guys and implied to have killed innocents after the X-Men died? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And he regrets that.
Well, yeah, but you understand how that history needs to be there to begin with, right?
Right, but it's still a stable timeline now, like Deadpool's timeline. So who's to say that by undoing that mistake now, it'll undo that?
By undoing that mistake now, it'll undo that.
How so?
Movie.
I mean, I'll go even this far. If the TVA, like the good ones, they're telling you this
one of the good ones.
Oh my gosh! If they're telling you that this is a bad idea, if they're advising against it when they are experts on how the timeline works and the safety of it all, I feel like that's something that's very much worthy of consideration.
Okay, well, the TVA were also the one. Like, this was Paradox's actions are also like the TVA.
corrupt.
They weren't really. They were. He was operating
He's
under
corrupt though.
under them, like without their knowledge, and like he was
Yeah,
doing
but-
a bunch of illegal stuff. So there's
Okay,
there's also
so-
that. Like
so
we
Jack,
don't know how.
If I see a corrupt officer, should I just assume literally every other police officer's like this?
Yeah, that's the main point of the thing, is that the TVA is trying to do good and he's the one on the bad side of it. Like, what?
Yeah.
When they see
Yeah, but,
they
like,
see what he's doing, they try to stop it.
But the TVA aren't the police. Like I don't think that's like a.
They're time
I don't
police.
think that's equivalent.
How is that not
They're time
equivalent?
police.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like if
Then by
if
that
I
logic,
get
shouldn't they also send Logan back to his own timeline, because there's now two Logans
They
running
do.
around.
Hold on. No, there isn't. They do.
Yeah,
do
there
that.
are. This is the same timeline.
Well, yeah,
This
yeah.
is
He goes to Deadpool's
like
universe.
the X-Men timeline. There are two Logans running around.
What I will say
Logan's
is that in
dead.
this situation, it is amendable because the timeline is still stable. It's still fine even while he's in there right now.
Well, yeah. She even says like, whatever you guys did, you fixed your timeline. And you said that they don't do anything when people like act out of line or do something big. Yes, they literally do. That's like their job.
No, I'm saying that they're not doing anything when they see that Logan, like an incursion, is in a universe that's not his, and that there are now two Logans running around, and they don't do anything.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but we just explained that.
Yeah.
Like the timeline is safe.
If the timeline
Right.
wasn't safe, they would have made Logan go back.
Okay, but if the time, who's to say that the timeline won't be safe if Logan is able to go back and save the X-Men?
I think they even know that, right?
Yep.
Because remember, they Oh wait, sorry. You mean like in regards to if he saves the X-Men? So
Yeah.
I feel like with that situation, you have access to less information on how this will turn out. Especially since, again, Logan being the man who he was, that was absolutely necessary for the sacrifice we have at the end.
Okay.
It was
If
absolutely
Logan doesn't-
necessary to save the fabric of reality. So you are walking on eggshells if you change anything with him.
Yeah, but the entire film, Wade and Logan are walking on eggshells to get what they want.
Sure,
Like,
but it's
and
because
they
they have
succeed.
no other choice.
right.
The
But, like-
alternative is that Wade's universe gets destroyed.
Yeah, but like you can look at for means outside of like the TVA to get what you're looking for.
They
Like
don't
you
have
could.
that.
I know, that's why I'm saying Logan could still could still be motivated to try and save his friends, just like in a way that aligns with saving, like keeping his timeline pure.
The
or
only way you
stable.
can do that is use the TVA, and the TVA is not cooperative on that.
So far, but there are other like means to travel in time.
But he doesn't have those means.
So do you want I'm lost. Do you want like another movie right after this one? Like,
No,
do you
I'm
want
just
a
saying.
4-hour
I'm just
special
saying.
of them trying to find that way. Like, I'm so lost.
No, I'm just saying it's not. It's not really in character for this version of Logan that we have seen to just drop his motivation of feeling guilty over not helping his friends, just
He
because
grew
it's the
past
end.
that.
That's not really something you can go past though. Like he has trauma. Like he has like
well, yeah,
this
he still has the
immense
trauma.
guilt.
But, like,
Like he has
Oh,
immense
Jesus.
guilt.
that's
Yeah.
him letting go of the past, though, because he accepts that he can't change it.
Okay, but that mentality like just doesn't really work because he couldn't let go of it like for so long, like throughout the course of the movie. Like
And
he's still
now
going to
he's in
feel
a
guilty. He's still going to
situation-
feel, even if he does good now, he's still going to feel guilty well long after because he still made that mistake.
Okay, but one, you still haven't provided a reason or a way that this is even safe to perform. And two, this is a different fucking Logan.
I understand.
Hold on. 3, His whole fucking point was letting go of the past. Yes, we understand that his trauma is still gonna be there, that it doesn't just go away.
I
But
understand.
the point of these kinds of arcs is that it diminishes. You stop letting it affect you as much.
Okay, so for one, you don't need to give him like means or anything. I'm simply saying he's still like he still has the motivation and drive to want to undo that mistake. You don't necessarily need to show him doing that, right? But it still needs to be there somewhat, or else it's just like a bad resolution.
I suppose maybe I'll try to make a comparison to maybe see if it makes it easier to understand.
I feel like we're going in circles right now.
With the Flash, right? And this could be for like lots of Flash media. A huge point for his character is letting go of what happened to his mom and not trying to change his past and focusing on his future instead. So like, after Flash goes through an arc of like moving on from what happened and not using time travel to fix all the mistakes or all the mishaps in his life, should he just go back and see, well, maybe there's another way I can save my mom, but safer this time?
I mean, like, it all depends on how the time, just the rules regarding time travel work. Sometimes it's just complete bullshit. Sometimes it's just like in the Flash with Ezra Miller. It's very consistent because he during the end, I believe he still changes the past
I'm
really
discounting that
learn
one
anything.
that story.
No. Even if we use that movie, right? Like, let's say he didn't get his dad out of prison and stuff, right? Would you still say in that movie, because it would be the same thing as CW Flash, would you say in that movie that he should keep trying to look for a safer way, or is it more healthy to just move on from it, because that's the point of the arc?
I mean, if you understand that there was like if you understand that there are like, sorry, if you understand that there was an injustice done and that a person shouldn't have died or suffered because of that injustice, then I don't see why it's inherently wrong to want to correct it while keeping damage completely minimum doing that.
The problem is that they don't have a way of doing that. If they had a way of doing
that,
and
I understand, like, I accept that, and that's why I don't need to see him solve it, but I would still like to see him have that motivation, like still try to find a way back to the past in order to like undo it, but while simultaneously keeping the timeline pure.
Well,
that's all I want.
If he knows that there's no other way at that point, and he already understands, like, yes, everything that happened in this period of time, it was needed to like end up saving the universe, well, the multiverse itself. If he walks in with that understanding, then I don't think he's gonna like push further on that. Especially if the TVA, again, like the actual good, non-corrupt ones, are saying, yeah, we can't do that.
Okay, well, again, there are things that the so good TVA doesn't really understand, and they even say this, they don't understand how Deadpool's timeline remained pure. So they can still, it's still possible for Logan to hold out hope to find a way to potentially.
Where does the movie even say that he doesn't have hope?
By telling him, by him just like nonchalant, by him just like nodding his head and saying to just accept that he can't undo, he can't save them.
Right, you can accept something but still want it to happen, right? Or
you can still accept something and still not want it to happen?
Yeah, both. Like, want it or not want it. Like,
okay.
What you're asking for is basically like something that will require a whole nother movie.
I understand. Yeah, I understand that, but like that's him. I'm not asking for another movie to show him like fulfill his goal. I'm just saying he still has that goal. Like, it still shapes him. Like he's still driven to undo it.
Or he's driven to be better, which is what he just develops from.
Right, and you can still develop into being better and still want to undo a mistake.
Yeah, but what you're basically asking for is if it doesn't do it this way, then it's wrong, when that just doesn't need to be the case.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay?
Like I still don't understand. I still don't see what you're not understanding what I'm trying to say, because I'm trying to communicate. Logan wants to undo the deaths of his friends, and he can still do so in a way that doesn't contradict what just happened, right? That you can still have that motivation.
How is he going to do that?
I don't.
There's nothing.
You don't
there's
need
nothing
to. You don't
say,
need to know.
Hold on.
We don't necessarily need to know that. He could just still have that motivation and try to find.
But there's nothing saying that he doesn't still want to do that. He just accepted that the TVA said there isn't a way to do it. We can't help you. So instead of dwelling on that, like he's been doing the entire movie, he accepts it, moves on, and grows as a person. I don't see what's so hard to understand about this. Like, we keep going in circles with the same point.
Because I don't see him him accepting that, honestly. Like,
okay,
he
if you don't see that, if you don't see that, then whatever.
Like a line just simply saying, okay, well, you don't know, like, you obviously didn't know what happened, like how Wade's universe became pure. So, like, I'm still going to have an open mind and see if I can do both. Like, I don't see what's wrong with having that line of reasoning. Because
in the instance that you're bringing up, like, she doesn't know this, that's an exclusive example that doesn't really contradict what he knows about them thus far. Thus far, they know that they deal with timeline shit like this all the time, in regards to, like, changing shit about the past, fixing timelines and stuff. This was an incursion, or whatever you want to call it, that was random. So in regards to her saying, yeah, we can't go back in time and change it because this reason, then Logan accepts that. He doesn't, it's not out of character for him to say, well, we could still do both. I'm gonna hold out hope. Yeah. Like, no, he's accepting it and moving on, because that's what's healthy for him.
Okay, but just like, again, like, I do feel like we're walking in circles.
I know.
Because this also applies to Logan in Days of Future Past. Like,
oh my god,
he could just, like, why
is already explained why it doesn't.
Not really, because what you just said also applies to him. He can also think that, hey, you shouldn't try to prioritize trying to change this mistake. You should try to prioritize killing, stopping the genocide now.
They had the means to do it, and they had no choice.
Okay.
Like, you can't really damage things more than they're already about to be damaged in this case. Whereas with this case with Deadpool and Wolverine, you could end up, like, undoing the work that you've already done.
Right, and that's why
I guess to be saying
that he can go about it in a way that's cautious to not undo the work that's already been done.
Well, hang on. What you can say right now is, like, okay, so in the Foxverse, there's probably still going to be, like, deaths or horrible things that still happen in the timeline, even after the Days of Futures Past thing, and we still see that Kitty Pryde is still around in the X-Mansion. So can't they just say, wait, why doesn't Wolverine try to go back in time to save other things that happened? Like, I could do the same thing there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, again, you can try to do, like, that's a good question worth asking, and it's also worth asking, like, why can't he, if he finds the means to do so, if it means like it doesn't fuck up anything else.
Well, I mean, with this case, if they were to go back in time in Days of Future Past, if we entertain that question, there's always the risk of, you change too much in history, you cause too many problems. In this case, this was an entire mutant genocide on the line. They really had no choice. There would have to be a very specific situation, like the world ends, an entire race of people gets destroyed, something like that, to justify such a drastic and risky action.
Yeah, and again, this also goes back to Deadpool 2, where, like, nothing is really on the line for Wade other than his attachment to Russell. Like he could just at any point say, I don't care, like, and just walk away, but he still tries to change it anyway.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but like in this case, like I don't think there's anything in Deadpool 2 that indicates if he decides to do if he decides to save the kid, that'll in turn undo like world-saving things or universe-saving things. Whereas in
But
this
it could
case,
have.
What could it? So if the kid like is properly reformed, what happens? Like, what's the risk?
Like we have no idea. Like you said before, they're playing with time. Like it's a banana peel thing. Like if a brilliant scientist like suddenly slips on a banana peel, like is the world like thrown in disarray?
Well, it's not. This
is it all applies to any time travel story in general.
Well, yeah, that's why we need
if
to
someone
like dig
wants
into
to
more
change the
specifics,
past,
right? Because the
positive
specifics,
sense.
well, yeah, but the specifics I got into with the Deadpool and Wolverine case is that if you change what happens to Logan, right? They specifically say he wouldn't be the man he is now. If he's not the man he is now, then he doesn't save the time stream. He doesn't save all of reality. So if he can't save all of reality, then he's basically undoing the work for just no reason at that point.
Right. So again, he can go about fulfilling his task in a way that doesn't conflict with that, and I don't see what's wrong with that.
Well, there's no established way he could do that.
Yeah, and there doesn't have to be an established way, but he can still have that motivation.
I feel like there should
You
be.
need to have something be established for you to have a motivation to begin with.
There needs to be a basis for that motivation. And I'm not saying a basis for why Logan would think, I think it would be a good idea in spite of the TVA telling me that I wouldn't become the man I am. Which he understands
let's
was
do this.
necessary for the saving of the entire time stream.
Hold on, let's do this for example. So recently I bought a car, and when I was going through talking to other dealerships, right? And they would give me like a price. If it wasn't the price, if they couldn't give me to the price that I wanted for the car, right? I would just say, okay, and move on, right? That doesn't mean that I no longer have the motivation to get the car or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that line doesn't say, oh, I'm just gonna give up on this entirely. That line says, okay, you just told me we can't do this because so-and-so, and I'm accepting that. Okay. So it's not out of character. That's the fundamental point of the argument.
Right. So our main disagreement is just a difference in interpretation, essentially. Sure. Yeah, and I think that's just a good way to close off on that argument, I guess.
All right. Did you have point number 4?
Yeah, but it's sort of minor compared to the rest of them. But I'll read it off. Yeah, right. Another plot hole I noticed was how Deadpool was able to visit the sacred timeline, but only has time travel at his disposal.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think, so firstly, we do see the watch on his hand when that happens.
I have a simple thing for this, honestly.
I have a simple thing as well.
Oh,
He does go to himself signing up for Green Lantern, and he does show up in the in X-Men Origins Wolverine. So those are literal variants of him.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say the way that the multiverse works in the MCU Fox universe, it's based on timelines. The multiverse is different timelines, not literally different universes.
Which, to be fair, the TVA does too, because they show the splitting of.
Yeah. So I don't think that's a plot hole. Okay.
All right. Well, that's all I had.
Alrighty.
I'm curious to see what discussion on this film will be like since it just came out, and I'll be looking forward to any response videos you have on it.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. Later.
All right. Goodbye. All right. I think Captain Cabba.
Oh yeah, he's
Captain
got a lot
Cabba.
to say. He loves this movie.
What if he loves it? Then what's the disagreement?
Well, I don't know. He's got stuff to say.
Captain Cabba, what is your disagreement, and tell me why?
Give me a second. I gotta fix my voice settings.
All right.
You are on the line What is your motherfucking disagreement?
Get on my back, buddy. I'm gonna innovate you if you don't stop. Nice profile picture. So my disagreement is that I know you guys said it's a solid 9 out of 10, but I think it's a solid 8 out of 10 because I think the CGI could have used a little bit of work, and also I think the choreography could have been a little bit better. Like that one fight at the end, I like the part where Wolverine just gets on the car. It felt very in character with the comic character, and of course the pose at the end, like it looked uncanny, but it looked nice. But I think that this movie could also use like an extra 10 minutes to flesh out. It felt a little rushed at times, like specifically during the whole thing with all the like the legacy characters like teaming up. I think that I would have liked a little bit more time to learn about those characters, especially if they're not permanently gone now. Because I mean, you got Channing Tatum as Gambit. You got to keep him around. He is the last Gambit.
I disagree because I don't think it's crucial to what the film's going for. I think they give us enough that we need to know because they're not really that important to the story.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's all I have now. Yeah.
I mean, as far as the CGI, literally the only shots that I think are a little iffy is the shot where Deadpool pulls out his katana and it clips through him, and when Wolverine jumps out of the bus. Those are the only two shots that I think are iffy at all. I think the rest of the movie, though, I think the CGI is really good for the most part.
Yeah, it definitely looks better than I guess She-Hulk and like one of the other movies that came out recently. I don't remember which one.
I saw people complaining that Wolverine's mask was CGI, but like Deadpool's mask is also CGI,
and it looks great.
The issue with it, I think, is that with like the bottom half, you can see his mouth. I think that the eyes, if they were a little bit bigger, I think would have looked a little better. But it's not like inaccurate.
I like the moving. I really like the moving eyes and stuff. It's really dope.
Yeah, I think it was all right, but like, I can understand the complaints.
Gotcha.
All right, is that everything?
Yeah, that's all I got. Let's just give a big fuck you to Stir. You got to get better. Stir, the movie is goated. You're just wrong. Okay. This is shocking in comparison to Jack just a minute ago. This is really short. Okay, bye guys.
Goodbye.
Also, SK, thank you for the stuff in the DMs. I really do appreciate that, man.
Yeah, no problem. Hope you get through it.
All right. Yeah, I hope so too. Bye.
Goodbye.
All right, man. Magni, Optimus Prime.
Hey yo.
What is the disagreement and tell me why?
Oh, I have more of like idea, more opposed to disagreement. If you guys would want to hear me out, though, I'm willing to be prepared that might start a disagreement.
Okay.
So, by the way, this is for Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm guessing judging by the profile pictures, I'm guessing both of you have seen it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Love the film, by the way. Like, yeah, it has issues, but every film does. I still like it. It was really about the anchor being comment that got me. Admittedly, they didn't say anchor beings like were the case in every universe. But I was wondering, like, maybe the MCU has an anchor being, and who could that be?
I don't know.
Well, my thought is, and
maybe
I'm probably
Spider-Man, because canon events only affect Spider-Man.
Well, that'd be interesting. Well, my thought is actually, and this is where I'm prepared for it to start a disagreement. My thought is actually that it is none other than the character who I would consider to be Hugh Jackman's Wolverine's counterpart in the MCU, as in like the first hero introduced.
Tony Stark.
Yep. Now I'm prepared that like in some ways it doesn't make sense. Because it's meant to be the sacred.
I think what you're gonna say is that since Avengers Endgame, the quality for a lot of MCU stuff has declined, and that's in reference to Tony Stark being the anchor point.
To be fair, yeah, that was a lot of it.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that, to be honest. That's funny.
I admit from a theory standpoint, logically it doesn't make a lot of sense, but like I just thought it was like a fun thing and would be like an interesting idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say.
The other thing I was going to mention was, which isn't really a disagreement, but more of a point that, like, ironically for Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, which, God, we all know how excited we are for that game. Nah, I'm just kidding. I fucking hate that. Fuck you, Rocksteady. I hope you eat a bag of pre-fucked donkey dicks. Anywho, point being, a lot of people point out at the time that like the Justice League roster was a bit downsized
In the DCEU?
in the Arkhamverse, like for Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
A lot of people jump to defenses, being like, "Oh, well, maybe Aquaman doesn't exist. Maybe Martian Manhunter doesn't exist." And now, as you know, Aquaman is repeatedly mentioned. I think it's by King Shark and Harley at one point in game.
I have no clue. I don't
Okay.
know.
I remember that quite clearly. But also, as well, people tried to say, "Well, maybe Martian Manhunter doesn't exist." They'd be wrong to say that, because in Arkham Knight specifically, admittedly, it's a small thing and you miss it, but there is a board of police officer names, and one of the officers listed is John Jones. By their own definition, because they didn't realize, oh shit, he exists.
No, I think we're laughing at two different things. I don't think that means that Martian Manhunter exists in the universe just because there's a cop with the same name. That could just be an Easter egg.
Okay, well, I kind of took it as like, my bad.
No.
We're not laughing at you. We're laughing at
we're not
you.
laughing-
No. I'm good.
It's
John
an insight.
Jones.
It's a joke from a different stream because someone.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, one of the comments or something, or
No,
No, it was some guy saying that John Jones. It's
take down 6
I forget
penguin
what stream. Yeah, he couldn't take down 6 penguin goons or 5. Penguin
couldn't
goons
take
or
down
something.
6 penguin goons. Oh lord. Yeah, no, I mean, like, granted, like, I know it's not explicitly, but I still feel like that's a bit of a weird nod anyway, even if it's not. Even if you want, it's still a bit of a weird thing, because, like, even if it's a reference, it still feel like a specific reference to him specifically. Like, it might, I guess, probably not him, but still.
Yeah,
If that makes sense.
I don't know. I just don't agree with that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like
I mean, if Aquaman's mentioned, then he doesn't show up.
He is mentioned. He is mentioned twice. Once by Harley and once by King Shark, I think.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I'll say for the Aquaman thing is I guess we just don't know how powerful he is in the universe or if he's dead.
He's well. They mentioned him. He's dead.
Oh, I'm saying probably is dead as a joke for how Suicide Squad just killed
Probably.
people.
Probably. Because see, the other thing that makes it dumber is they also bring up Green Arrow as well. So I'm like, well, why the fuck isn't he on? Like, is he new or some shit? Or
I have no clue, man. We can't even mess. I can't even wrap my head around it anymore.
It gets worse because, like, technically, if Rocksteady, by their own admission, technically implied in some of the previous games that other DC characters would have been a massive helper out there, like Black Canary, Oracle's laptop.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Yeah, but also, like, Ray Palmer, I think, is mentioned, so he might not be the Atom yet in Arkham Knight, but, like, there's a poster, so it's likely implying that, like, he would have existed, or... I mean, granted, you know, like SK said, he's probably dead by this point. Wouldn't be surprised if, like, they're doing, oh, whoops, we stepped on him, oh shit, there he is. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
No, thank you.
Tava
On, we need that
Smoker.
Suicide Squad follow-up with the new shit.
I don't feel like it.
Oh, hello.
Hello. What is your disagreement and tell me why?
My disagreement with Deadpool Wolverine. I love that movie. I think it's awesome and one of the best movies in this year.
Oh,
What?
well, we agree. That's
I'm
a
sorry.
agreement.
Wait, what did you say?
Shit. Okay. I put my disagreement with Deadpool Wolverine. I do love that movie. It was awesome, and I think the Cassandra Noah was a great villain. And
Well, that's
the whole
agreement.
Plan Wolverine, it makes sense. It makes sense why he didn't
That-
want go back to the universe.
You're agreeing with us right now. We need
Yeah.
disagreements.
Yep. Shit.
All right. Well, we're gonna pull someone else in. We want disagreements, but thank you for showing.
Alright, goodbye.
We'll do Reaper Void. Yeah,
No, he was here first. I think this is a boys' disagreement.
All right.
Hello?
Hello.
Alright, what is your disagreement and tell me why?
Hold on. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's just not on speaker. I'm doing like a weird thing.
Oh, okay.
The Discord link is in the description of this stream.
All right, hold on.
Can you do a disagreement day for Hasbin Hotel?
All right, I guess I'll just hit you with the against the ear.
Alright. What is your disagreement?
All right, my disagreement is I'm a fan of the boys. I even before the show came out, I thought like that would be a cool idea of having ordinary people go against superheroes. I found that the writing of season 4 was flawed to the degree that I don't find it as great as other seasons. And primarily it started in season 3. There were little dips and declines here and there, but season 4 really hammered in for like a couple of reasons. Yeah, I got some nitpicks and I got some big points. So do you guys want to start big or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The main thing, and I would really like this to be explained to me to the degree that I think my enjoyment could be better if I understood like why Homelander doesn't just kill the boys after Huey's made out in season 3. Because to the degree that it's my belief that Homelander at that point does not have in him and Sister Sage's master plan for them to be alive still. So I don't understand why after he found out that Huey, he doesn't fly in or get somebody to tail them because he has all the resources of Vought at his disposal, and he just waits for them to come back and murder them all.
Season 3?
Sorry, what? Hello?
In what? Yeah, like in what part of season 3? Like the finale?
No, my apologies. This is season 4, episode 3.
Yeah, but you brought up why doesn't he kill them in season 3?
Oh, I misspoke. I meant season 4.
Okay.
After
Season 4, episode 3. I mean, he does try to kill Huey, out of emotion at that point. Are you asking how Huey survived?
Yeah, to a certain degree. I'm asking why Homelander, after that point, didn't put tabs on where the boys worked and just straight up.
I mean, I'm assuming they
found them and
already.
murdered them.
No, I'm assuming they already have that. They just can't find them.
But he knows where they work. There's a central meeting place where they meet up.
No, I think he hasn't known where they worked. I think the way that he gets their location is from the shapeshifter. Yeah.
Okay, I could see that, but to the point that also he understood where the Starlighter house was, correct?
Yes.
So would it not make sense to at least track where Starlighter goes, have a tail on her at the very least, since he has all the powers of the corporation to, put somebody on her?
I don't think he would need to. I mean, if they did have someone on her, I'm assuming when they go to that building, they've been doing this undercover shit for a while, and they know how to not get tailed and how to avoid cameras and stuff. So, yeah, I think it's believable either way.
Well, I don't know if I really agree with that. Well, first off, the existence of tails isn't really communicated expressly in the show. This is just hypothetical stuff. However, I think it's weird that, at least through the series, that it's not communicated. If there are people following them, or they're cleverly dodging, the boys are cleverly dodging said tails, if they do exist in the first place. I feel like that could be.
I mean, in previous seasons, they've always relied on the fact that, what's it called? Like, even if Homelander could do anything, there's the video, you're gonna get exposed, right?
Well,
I'm saying even if Homelander did anything, like put them in jail, tailed them, figure out where they worked, killed them, they would just release the video, and that's why Homelander never did anything. Right?
Wait, so you're talking about the season 2 deterrence of the flight video?
Since season 2, he has had a deterrent for that. As far as as far as showing why they aren't being tailed and stuff, like in season 4, like since they know where the Starlight House is and stuff like that. I think that's just like whether they show it or not. The reason I'd say like make the assumption is because of the resources that you said they mentioned. But the reason I would assume that the tails may not find them is because, like, even if they, like, let's assume that they did, right? Because I'm trying to think of how this would impact the plot from your angle. Let's assume they did have the tails on them. What would change?
Well, if they had if the boys had tails on them, and as a result they knew where Huey and Starlight lived because they hadn't moved.
But no. I'm saying, how would the tails be able to track people who know how to spot tails and who know how to maneuver around the city and cameras so that they don't get spotted? I think it's believable that both the tail, like, I'll throw you a bone here. I think if you want to say that you don't find it believable that they can't be tracked by tails, fine. I would just say if they do get tracked by it, I think it's fine, and if they don't, I think it's fine because of the skill set that they have.
I would disagree with you on that point as well, because if Homelander knew where, like, let's say Huey and Starlight lived, because he also knows where Billy Butcher lives, and that I can kind of believe with at least CIA training, it's more likely than not he would be able to shake tails. Why Homelander or one of his goons just waits there and, you know, kills
I don't
Huey
know
the
if they
minute
know
he walks
where.
in.
Yeah, I don't know if they know where they know where Starlight or Huey lives.
Yeah, but wouldn't they get that information from at least Victoria Newman? Well, I guess they could, but that's not really part
Do
of
we
her
even know
plan.
if Newman knows where they live?
Well, I mean, she worked with Huey for like years. It wouldn't shock me if they.
Yeah,
had
but
a
they never
clear understanding.
established. Yeah, but they never established that she knows where they live.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to that credit, though, there was also never established that there were tails, that there was any way of that he was keeping tabs on them, which I just find is a bit weird.
My
considering
assumption
that,
is it's through the cameras that they have, because they established in season 1 that they have cameras throughout the city.
Yeah, but to that point, if there were cameras established throughout the city and there was an active search for these people, even if they were particularly good at avoiding tails and/or cameras, would they not show up at least at some point during the traveling to and from their central home where they live?
The tails or the characters?
Talking about the cameras identifying, and really the tails too, just a method of tracking these people down while they're going to central locations, and they go back to their home that's consistent. I think it's a little bit unbelievable that at some point something won't give and that they'll be able to find them and track them down, because even to the degree that Homelander knows where Billy Butcher lives, and he also goes to the main office a bunch of times, I just find it a little bit
When does
weird that it's not
Homelander?
communicated efficiently.
Wait. What? Homelander goes to the office a bunch of times, or Butcher does?
No, Homelander goes to Billy's office his home a bunch of times.
Mhm.
Billy goes to the office a bunch of times. I find it weird that there would never be any overlap where, oh, wait a minute, he's always going at this time to go to this place. I feel like that.
Well, I don't know. I think the problem I'm running into is when they are so good at avoiding shit like this, the tails would have if there were tails, they would have a very hard time of staying on track of them. So you're saying that they would go to these like locations, right? Like the boys' office and their houses and stuff. But from my perspective, what I would say is they just can't tail them because they're so good at being like staying under the radar because they've been doing this for so long.
All right.
So I don't think the tails would be able to find that location.
Yeah. I mean,
And again,
my best thing is I suppose. But like,
Okay.
I mean, my point though is, even though season 4, we're having like a conversation of, well, I feel like this could happen, I don't feel like this could happen. I feel like it would be a good idea for this just to be explained in the show. at any point, so that there's alleviation of this confusion and gray area.
I can agree with that, but I'm fine enough with what they show, because like I've always had the assumption, even from season 2 or 3, that this is just the case, even if they don't show it, because I don't necessarily think it's that important, to be honest. I think given what's around the surrounding context of how the boys act and their skill set, it's fine for me. But I mean, if you want that explains, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the thing with pretty much every season of the boys up to this point. Season 3, they're with Soldier Boy tracking down people, and he can't find them to challenge him. And when he does, they're superpowered, so it's a close thing. Season 2, the deterrence it wasn't the footage. That was the end of season 2. Season 3, where it really didn't take much effect. But I think it was season 2 because, like season 1, he had no idea where the hell they were because they were super covert and under ops and stuff. But now they have like a central office location that they regularly, a headquarters to go in and out of regularly. That's at least in a central location. But the main point of this is this really was inspired by the degree of Homelander sending both the Deep and Black Noir to go in and kill them. And I was like, why didn't you not do that before? But it sounds like that's answered. There's at least an explanation for it. So, all right, that's good. But likewise, though, that leads up to my next question. Why did Homelander sit out on the assassination attempt and he just sent the Deep and Black Noir to do it?
Because two things. He knows that they can probably do it really easily, especially if they get the jump on them. He also views humans as like an ant, and like he would see Black Noir and the Deep to be able to just step on them as such. The other thing is, if there was something that, you know, caught them on camera or something, he cares less about the disfame, I guess, of the other members of the Seven as compared to himself.
I don't really buy that, though, because here's the thing. He sees humans like ants, sure, but he made a death pact with Billy Butcher in season 3, showing that at least there's some level of familiarity, more so than the rest of the pack.
Yeah, but I'm more talking. No. He sees that more from like a war games point of view with them, because he can't kill Billy right there, because of that. But if in the case of an actual physical altercation where they're ready to kill each other, like, yeah, he's an ant to Homelander or the Deep or Black Noir.
But yeah, again, I don't really buy that, since the last time that Billy Butcher and Homelander had the time before the last time was at the start of season when Ryan was trying to get recruited by Billy, but they almost killed him, and that's
because he had the Temp V.
Yeah, Temp V, which
they don't have anymore.
Well, he doesn't know that they don't have it, though. That's the main thing. But and also relevant of that, though.
If they had it, then they would have. If they had it, then don't you think? I'm pretty sure it's been discontinued at this point in the boys. Like, they don't make it anymore. And if they had it, don't you think Homelander would have thought that they would have used it by then?
I don't really think that that's.
Well, he knows they're trying to kill. He knows they're trying to kill Newman. So why would they have not used the Temp V on them?
I mean, maybe. But the main thing that I'm on about, it's not necessarily the existence of Temp V and whether or not that would be a suitable fighting against him. It's the fact that they got extremely close to killing him. And I just feel like
the only reason that even happened, though, was because of Soldier Boy and the Temp V.
Yeah, but to that degree, I find that it's... What is it? Given Homelander's hyper-emotional characterization that he's had throughout the series, I find that's a little bit out of character for him not to even, like, look at this as like okay, enough fucking around. I'm going to go down and I'm going to kill him. And if I get caught on camera, then I'll do what I did in the rally and just say, hey, they had kids in the basement and it was for the American people and all that jazz.
I don't know. I'm still going through the process of rewatching it. So
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, I got you.
I suppose it may be fair to say that Homelander, because he missed Huey the first time, he just want to personally take it down the next time because like he doesn't want to leave it to chance.
Yeah, that's another good point. And to the degree that just these people have been such a persistent side in this Thornton Homelander side, it shocks me that he wouldn't, go down there, with the exception that he knows that humans are ants and small and insignificant. But these particularly small and insignificant ants almost killed you. And I just think that in terms of the hyper-emotional character of Homelander, I think that would have been more beneficial. But, I digress.
I think I think I kind of agree.
Yeah. And so, but with that, that's kind of one of the main highlights of why I think that the writing has been at least considerably weaker in this season than the last ones, because Homelander has all the power, and admittedly, I guess since season 3 until he got the shapeshifter, he didn't know exactly where they were. Yeah. But I just think that it would be beneficial,
I mean, we initially thought it was a problem that if he knew where they were this whole time, but the last episode kind of just substantiated, he's working with the shapeshifter, so that's probably where he got their location from.
Yeah, but I just wish that was communicated a little bit, if that was the case, because we're not the showrunners, we don't know what exactly it was. I just wish that was communicated a bit better, because that would really clear up a lot of things. Yeah, such as an additional grievance I have, and this is one of the smaller ones. The assassin has Huey and MM right there in the basement. And so her go-to is the iconic non-lethal superpowered push that knocks people into the back of the wall and knocks them out for a period of time. I'm frustrated seeing that. My heart breaks.
I don't know. I don't have a problem with her pushing them. I think MM has a bit of plot armor there. I don't know about Huey though, because he was farther, or he didn't get punched, because MM got punched with both of her fists. So I don't know how she didn't kill MM. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and see, that's another issue I have, is just like, I think I went into it like over analytical. I thought I didn't realize I needed a certain suspension of disbelief that I really hadn't noticed in previous seasons. I think there were like some instances where it was like, yeah, that's kind of bullshit. But I think that when I saw that just kind of reminded me of like, oh, this is awfully convenient, guys. That's the main.
Yeah, no, I think another problem with that scenario, unless I find a defense for it on rewatch, is I don't know why the assassin didn't just kill the president right away.
Oh yeah, honestly, she just like took her time tearing through people, and it's like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe she doesn't have bulletproof skin, but again, I wish. Oh, then yeah. Well, all right. Yeah. And another thing is Homelander searching Tech Knight's estate after witnessing a bullet in the head of Sister Sage. I feel like that scene just ends too soon, because he's been proven to have X-ray vision. And to a degree, super sight as interpreted from the season 1 scene where he was flying around, and it was like a real palpable threat of like, holy shit, Homelander could find us at any minute with translucent locked up in our basement even. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's super unrealistic for him not to just literally take a look around and witness, oh shit, Firecracker is in a closet or something, knocked out, A-Train is missing, and there's a bullet in my main confidant's head.
A-Train wasn't missing. A-Train wasn't missing at that point. All I'll say is the only time the extent of Homelander's X-ray vision, we haven't seen how far it stretches. Because all we've really seen him use it for is maybe seeing through a couple walls. Like I don't know how strong it is, or if it's like Superman level or some shit, because they just haven't shown it to be that strong. The most we've seen is like a couple walls, like in Vought when he's spying on Madeline.
Yeah.
But I would say, as far as why he doesn't like, I think the boys have already left. Like the way the scene is shot, it makes it appear as though, I guess, because the events, I wouldn't say they're chronological, because like, you know, a lot of movies do this stuff. It's like they'll show, or shows do this stuff as well. Like they'll show something happening and then show something that happened beforehand, right after that. So it's not always told in chronological order, the chain of events. So I think the boys probably left Tech Knight's basement by the time Homelander finished that speech. And as far as why he doesn't look around, he already knows something's up when he sees Sage shot in the head. But he's like hyper focused on this speech because he's like shitting his pants with what to do, and that's what he's focused on.
I could see the argument for that. However, in terms of the supervision of Homelander, although we do only see him being a creep, as you would if anyone had that superpower.
Well, I would also say real quick for the vision, I think it's fair to assume that Tech Knight's basement is lead lined or zinc lined or whatever, because I don't think he would want Homelander seeing what's going on in that basement.
You see, I think. Oh, sorry. Please go on.
No, I'm done.
Okay. So the thing about that is, I find that Homelander's vision is more impressive than what we see, because as for why Homelander couldn't find translucent the remains of him was quoted as, you know what the one metal I can't see is? Zinc. And it was, even if it was like they threw him in the bottom of the ocean where the Deep found the package, and even still to that point where it's like, he needed to specify that it was the only thing I couldn't see through. The fact that it was zinc was not that it was at the bottom of the shitting ocean. It was that he couldn't see through zinc. And I think that is at least indicative that he has like super sight.
It wasn't at the bottom of the ocean. It was at the bottom of the lake, right?
Well,
that's where they put it, or the river or something.
Well, even still, to that point, it's the fact that he only specified that the only thing that stopped him from seeing it was the zinc. It wasn't that it was at the bottom of even a particularly shallow lake, which I think would at best cover. I
don't think that's proof. I don't think that's proof of his vision, if that's what they say. Because I'm purely talking based off what we see of his thing. Like if there was a statement or something that said. Because I don't think that statement is strong enough proof to say that that's what his vision is. I think like a strong statement for Homelander's durability is there's no weapon on Earth that can kill him. So not even a nuke. I think that's a stronger statement that clarifies the character's powers. And anything other than that, then we just have to go on what we see, and what we see is a couple walls.
Well, I don't know how good of a defense that is, because by your logic, I can say that Homelander doesn't poop. He has a toilet. Does he ever have a line where he's like, God damn it, someone shit in my toilet? You know, we don't hear that.
I think that's just a reasonable assumption, though. As far as someone's powers, though, it's a little bit more muddy with that. Like if someone they don't say I need to breathe oxygen or something, but yeah, it's like we're assuming people need to breathe, they need to eat, they need to sleep, because that's just like normal human shit.
All right. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that point, but hey, fuck it. But regardless of that, you also said that it was edited a little bit weird in that the scene was shot, the scene where Homelander was like, fuck it, I'll just give my big song and dance.
Yeah.
Afterwards,
I think
that was in Tech Knight's basement.
After the speech, they were in Tech Knight's basement. I think they were already gone by then.
That happened before.
Yeah.
At the very least, would you say that that's at least confusing editing?
Yes.
Yeah. To that degree, I think that's another point against the show being necessarily great, because it does lead to these like a little bit of confusion, a little bit of like questions that are really unanswered.
I've only agreed really with a couple things you said so far. I still think the season overall is great. like in terms of the character work and stuff. Like, because out of an 8-hour plus TV show or season, sorry, just these couple points aren't really enough to bring it for me to bring it down. It's not like a 10 or anything, but I don't think it's these kinds of things would make me personally bring it down to like a 7.
All right, but would you concede that the Boys season 4 is the weakest season of the Boys, or are you?
I don't know about that. I think season 2 might be the
Probably
weakest still.
All right, word. In that case, there are some other parts that I still have in terms of talking about the Boys season 4, and that is really, I think this culminates down to there's a lot of luck that goes on in season 4 of the Boys, such as Sister Sage, when she was found by went for what looked like a burglar alarm, correct?
Yep.
Why didn't she just scream and alert Homelander, who has been proven to have superhuman hearing, that there were enemies in there?
Because she would know that he doesn't always use his super hearing. And the alarm would be louder. Homelander does not. Homelander is not always using his super hearing.
I don't know about that. I don't know
Why don't you know about
what's
that?
your evidence? What's your evidence to?
My
cite?
evidence is that he would be getting ear raped every 10 seconds if he was. Or every second.
Yeah, but that means that
It's the same thing. Well, I mean, I think you have to look at like Superman, for example. You ever watch Superman and Lois or any Superman media?
Nah.
Okay. Well, the best way I can describe it is when you have hearing like that, you need to adjust your senses so that you're not being overwhelmed. So I think that's a very reasonable thing to assume.
Okay, I can see how.
And we even see multiple scenes where Homelander explicitly blocks out noise and can't even really hear anything.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. And I guess assuming that the scene that was shot after the Boys had left, which is again hyperbole, we don't necessarily know what I can only gather from how it was shot that the Boys' interrogation of Tech-9 happened after Homelander's big speech, that he wouldn't at least have turned it on to that point. But I mean, yeah, that's just confusing to me. And also, I think that
I'll throw you a criticism that you could say about that episode as well.
Oh, I might actually have it. Go on.
I don't know why they let Sister Sage leave.
Yeah, it's very, very.
I don't know why they don't. Even if they don't know that she can regenerate her brain, I don't know why they don't just bring her down so they hide the body.
Yeah, there's no real hiding of there's no hiding of the body. There's also no even if Homelander did have the at least one wall surface vision, or 1 to 2 wall surface vision, he would be able to see a knocked out body.
It wouldn't even just be him. It would just be everyone else at the party as well.
Yeah. They'd be like, holy shit, what the hell is even going on here? Yeah. To that point, I didn't write that particular one down, but primarily I found another plot convenience, which is after it was revealed that A-Train was a rat bastard, to Homelander at least, he's a good guy. Why does Sister Sage not get murdered by Homelander then and there?
Because Homelander would still see her as useful.
Well, he was kicking her out of the 7.
Yeah, I think that he did that mostly out of emotion in that state. As far as why he doesn't kill her, I think it's because while he is very impulsive, I think he still internally knows he may need her again. Whereas anyone else he kills impulsively, he probably wouldn't need much. Whereas the point of Sage is someone that shows that I think a good read that I have of her is that she's kind of someone that Homelander has around because he internally knows he's not that smart, but like she says, his ego can't handle that.
I think
admitting that at least.
I suppose. However, how we've seen Homelander is whenever he's been confronted with someone who's lied to him or told misinformation, see Black Noir and Madeline Stillwell, he's murdered them regardless of the tactical advantage that they could serve.
Right, but
And
Black Noir or Madeline Stillwell, they never helped him in the same way that Sage did. Because Sage is helping him right now with literally every problem that he has.
I mean,
Whereas Black Noir was kind of just a hired gun.
he wasn't a hired. Black Noir was significantly, at least from what I've seen, more impactful to Homelander. He was the first superhero that he had coordinated with, as per Diabolical.
Yeah, and
I
he
think
broke
it's
that.
season
Yeah,
seven.
but he broke that friendship at that point by lying to him like that.
Yeah, and I guess
He doesn't see Sage. The main reason, again, he sees Sage as someone he doesn't want to admit that he needs, but he knows he needs.
So then why does he completely kick her out of the plan and say, I'm not dealing with you? It's a subconscious desire or subconscious need for her. But the thing is, if you're also going about it like that, then why wouldn't Sister Sage just... How does Homelander know that Sister Sage won't rat out the plan?
Won't rat out the plan?
Yeah, after getting kicked out of it, how do you know that Sister Sage won't work with someone else to be like, okay, I got kicked out of the plan, I'm disgruntled?
Because he knows what she wants, and if she does do that, he'll just kill her. But I don't think that he thinks that he will. And again, I think she's too valuable to him for him to just murder her like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the fact that we're even having a debate of I could see how that could happen, but overall, I'm not convinced as to him subconsciously needing that, because again, it's not really clearly communicated, for at least for me, why exactly that is.
Why he needs her?
Yeah, why he needs her alive after he's kicked her out of the plan completely. Said, you know what?
Well, I would say
You're
the reason he kicks her out of the plan is instead of killing her, he just kicks her out instead of killing her. You get what I'm saying? That was the emotional impulse that he did, but he still does need her. And the reason he keeps her alive is because if he needs her, and he will go to her.
I don't really buy that either, because at the end, Homelander says, "You're still gonna help me after I kicked you out?" Like he wasn't expecting that. We can argue his subconscious.
Yeah, but that was more so her willingly coming back. Whereas if Homelander needs to force her to help, then he would. I don't really think that contradicts anything.
Well, then, if he needed her, then why was he just slobbering in his room? It's it was a doomed situation. Oh, my plan had failed.
Because that's Homelander's character.
Yeah, but
just because he has a moment of weakness, just because he has a moment of him doing that, doesn't mean that he was never going to go to Sage.
I mean, yeah. Again, we're talking about what hypothetically could have happened. I just wish that this message got across cleaner in the show, because then I wouldn't be here, even bringing up my qualms with the whole thing.
Well, I think it's very clearly communicated that even though she treats him poorly or acts out of line, he still doesn't do anything to her, except for subtle things like putting her in the 7 when she didn't want to. I think that's very clearly what is communicating, is that yes, Homelander, even though she's acting like this, he knows subconsciously that he kind of does need her.
Yeah, and I don't really... Well, yeah, I can see how he would require her.
Well, I think that's just very clearly I just think that's very clearly what they're going for when showing what's it called? When all these characters are surprised that she's able to act like this around them, as opposed to when they act like that, they're threatened with death or
actually
go
dead.
blow a train.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess I can see that, but again, it wasn't really sold to me that Homelander. it wasn't communicated efficiently the need for Sister Sage after Homelander had pushed her out of the Seven. I don't really think that logically I can deduce the arguments. At least me, as a reasonably young, I don't want to give my information on the internet kind of guy, I don't really see that as there was an effective method that this was communicated with. I feel like that was to a degree flawed in terms of at least.
I think the fundamental point of it is literally just it's more valuable to keep her alive than to kill her. Way more valuable, I should say.
I mean,
but if he can't, the reason he kicks her out is because he doesn't know if he can fully trust her to run the operation the way it was been running thus far. And what she did wasn't even really bad. As opposed to like Noir or any of the other people thinking that it was malicious, because what she said is all the stuff that was leaked was stuff that A-Train could have leaked was stuff that they either couldn't use, like the party, for example, the Tech Night party, or bad information.
Moving on. Let me chew on that for a hot sec. Yeah. I mean, I could see it, but I don't know. I feel like we're going. The fact that the main thing that I'm looking at is the fact that Homelander subconsciously needs Sister Sage, even though he kicks her out and says, "You're lucky to be alive." Well, I never mind. I take that line of dialogue back. I don't know. I just find it at least not effectively communicated. If there was just a line where it's like, okay, you've done this great thing, and for that you leave with your life now. I think that at least a line of dialogue.
I don't think that's in character for Homelander to say. I don't think he would want to admit that.
Well, I mean, it's in character for Homelander to kill someone who's lied to him about a plan.
Yeah, I know, but it's also not out of character for him to not kill her, given the context that we've been arguing about, and him admitting. I think him admitting that as he's like trying to stay on his little power stance thing right now would just feel off for Homelander to say.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the ending where he's like much more in emotional state and Sage sees that, and then once she does this thing, he's just like, well, fuck.
I mean, okay, I can get that. But again, I think that to the degree that her surviving because of the lying thing, I can see that. But again, I just think that even though Homelander is in an emotional state, well, I guess the connection. So I guess I wish the connection between Sister Sage and Homelander on their mutual agreements with the plan was built on a little bit more. But I guess it's kind of tricky because if you reveal your master plan, then how are you gonna, how's it gonna be like a shock to the audience? That's a weird thing. No.
What part of it?
Oh, just the whole reason why I've just been kind of putting off like discussing The Boys and my thoughts on it, just in general, is especially with Sister Sage as a character, is because her whole thing is she's a master planner. You can only really judge how smart or stupid the plan is once you've seen all of it. The first phase is done with the plan, so to that degree, I feel comfortable speaking on the parts of the plan now that I don't really agree with or don't really understand. But admittedly, all this criticism comes with the caveat of the season.
Her main goal was to just have to show that the democracy will be able to fall, and she accomplished that.
I mean, she did by what I can only assume is very lucky stuff. The fact that her backup plan, which was getting a guy on the inside of the presidential circle and have him say a specific line that would incriminate him, and then also for Newman to get murdered by Billy Busher. As I see it right now, that's just extremely lucky for a master plan, for my taste at least. But, 6 and 1, half a dozen the other.
I'm not too sure what we're talking about specifically. Again, I think for me to have a better memory, I do still need to rewatch it. I've just been kind of all over the place the past couple weeks. With stuff. So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Mr. Big Shot Camaro, too busy for us debate day people, huh? But anyway, so that's it. That's it. That's it.
Alright.
Bugs. Yep. Oh wait, I do have one last point of conversation, but if you don't want to talk about it, I understand given the prolivity of this subject.
Well, I actually do want to go do some IRL stuff after this, so I kind of just want to get like one more person in here, I guess.
Oh, by all means.
Yeah. So I mean, if you want to come on next time, feel free, because I'll probably have finished watching The Boys by then.
Yeah, I'll try to rewatch it again just so I can get a more educated, or I guess articulate it a little bit better. But last thing, yeah. Last thing, Colin. Congratulations on the Camaro. It's a real guillotine. You know, I worry you'll get too much head and forget all about this YouTube thing. Swear to God.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.
All right. There was a guy for Deadpool and Wolverine, but he left. So I guess
Reaper Voids. Reaper Voids.
Yeah,
You're
I
on
heard
the
you the
line.
first 3 times. I heard you. Come on. I don't even remember my original thought was. I was watching that whole entire stream. I think I lost my original disagreement. Honestly, it wasn't even really a disagreement. It was just... what can I say?
serious, my brother?
The only thing I remember was I was right about the whole Frenchie and Kimiko being a thing, and every other person was like, "No, they're a fucking brother and sister relationship." And every person who thought that should go to fucking Alabama and get their ID card rechecked again. Other than that, I was so fucking right about that shit. I was all over fucking social media, like spewing my jizz over that shit. It was ridiculous. Talking about they weren't a thing. Oh, he's bisexual. No, she's bisexual. I don't give a fuck. That was a perfectly built-up relationship that just went out the fucking window left field for no fucking reason. To give that random ass like, hey, I want to date you because you're a dude, and oh, by the way, I killed your family, but I think you're kind of cute. And no one had a problem with that.
I disagree that it was for no reason, because they did interesting shit with it, and they came together at the end.
Yeah, no, I'm glad they come to the end, but let me tell you this though. Did that guy ever come back?
Why did he need to?
They wanted the chick from his past come back. There was that chick that he met, the chick at his drug den with the other dude, where Lamplighter killed that lady's kids, and he's the reason why they got killed because he actually went to go help his friend who was ODing, and that chick came back like years later, I guess, back into his life about something. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but they reintroduced her back like one more time. But it was just with this one dude. It was like, oh hey, by the way, you know me from
did you miss the line
back.
where he says, "If you come near me again, I'm gonna fucking kill you"?
Nobody ever listened to that shit. In history, in the history of movies, nobody ever listens to that shit. And shows. Like, come here again, I kill you. I came again. Did I say I killed you again?
Left because you said you needed one more. Yes, you can join again. Reaper's just yapping.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I had nothing. I was just saying, like, I was gonna say I was fucking right with the Kimiko shit, and I'm glad I was right. I'm glad people who's wrong are fucking idiots.
Well, if we got no disagreement... Oh,
no, we got one more.
Right here.
There he is. Alright, goodbye.
Alright.
Fluma.
Yo, hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Alright, so my disagreement was about the whole Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, I didn't like how Deadpool was written in the movie. I know, Colin, you had said earlier that like some of the punchline jokes that he had said in the movie like didn't really hit that hard, and like for a lot of the dialogue that Deadpool was in, it was either like cringe Gen Z things or it was like it was just, I don't know, maybe things that like I didn't.
I think he only made like modern-esque jokes like a couple times, and even some of the jokes that he made, I think he was saying it ironically.
I know, because there was the one where he was talking to Blade, and then like whenever he said, "Oh, you call me retarded," he's like, "Hold on, I don't want you to cancel me now," or I think something like that.
Yeah, I don't. What's the problem with that? I
don't know. Whenever, before I had went and watched the movie, I was talking to this guy because he had said something about the movie. Like, so I guess I kind of got like spoiled. But then he said that like Deadpool was written like shit, and basically, and like I had already went into the movie with like that kind of pretense into it. I don't know. I didn't like how he was written though. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess you're just kind of giving me nothing to chew on, really. I just don't really know what to say.
And then I guess for like my other disagreement was about the plot.
Yeah, God.
So I have to ask because I'm more of like a casual person into like these Marvel movies. Whenever they discussed when Paradox discussed the the anchor thing, the anchor thing, whenever he said that like Logan died because Logan died.
Oh, the anchor. I thought you said anger.
Yeah, the anchor. Has that been discussed in Loki?
I have no clue.
I have no knowledge on it. So like whenever I had heard like there's a whole new like I guess whenever the TVA brings up this whole new plot point, like it was like it kind of caught me off guard. I don't know about you guys.
I don't really see the issues with it.
Yeah, because I don't know, like, and then the whole what is the thing called the timeline ripper?
Yeah,
the time ripper. I kind of like I didn't like how that thing was kind of put on the back burner, and then it only became important once. Is her name Cassandra? Or
I mean, it wasn't on the back burner. It was being made.
Yeah, but like
it's not like they forgot about it.
To me, it always felt like they kind of forgot about it because Deadpool was more worried about trying to get back and trying to save his world, and then Logan was trying to get back
but
to
they
his
needed
world.
to destroy that. Yeah, but that was the point. They were destroying it.
Okay. Overall, I didn't think the movie was too bad. Like I said, I think it was just something that, like, I think I was just looking too deep into Deadpool's character. Because normally when I watch Deadpool 1 and 2, I kind of watch the movie with, like, brain off. And kind of just watch the movie for how it was. But I think for this one, I think I was trying to be overly critical with it.
Alright, I mean, is that everything?
One other thing, and it's something that I didn't mention, but I had just started actually watching you yesterday, and I do like your content. One of the things that you said about Arkham Batman, I forget where it was in the video when it said when he has plot armor, but you were talking about how you believe that that Batman doesn't believe that he's hallucinating the fear toxin, right? It was like one of the.
He's hallucinating. Yeah, he's hallucinating because of the fear toxin.
But before the events of the game, have you like? I assume
that's not an hallucination. I explained that in the video. It's not an hallucination. It's a nightmare.
But I was talking about like how he had already built the chamber for him.
I thought you were talking about the VR game.
Yeah, not the VR game.
Yeah, I think the chamber was just a precaution because he does have the blood in his system and it's already mutated once. So if it happens again, then yeah.
But you don't believe though that he's that he's not like becoming the Joker?
Nope.
The only reason why I was asking is because in the movie theater with a dialogue, I think it's once Henry kills all the original Joker mutants, and then he looks into Batman, like he looks into Bruce's eyes, and he says that you're like the strongest one of them all. I forget what he says. I think it's like you're the strongest one, or you're the leader now, or the best Joker, and then that's when he killed himself.
Yeah, because Batman's eyes started glowing green, and I explained in the video why that could be the case.
I just think that's more of him, more of him, like the Joker blood taking over. Because I do believe it's the Joker blood.
I'm pretty sure the only times in Arkham Knight where we see his eyes glow green is when he gets extremely pissed off or emotionally distressed.
Would you think that's because
So,
of the?
well, if you notice in the beginning of the game, he was emotionally distressed over Barbara, and his eyes never glowed green. That's because the fear toxin never interacted with his blood, right?
Okay.
So I think the mixture of the fear toxin and the blood in him is what's making his eyes turn green. I don't think he has the Joker disease.
Okay. So
Because he has none of the physical side effects other than the what's it called? The eyes. But the eyes could be something else as well.
So when you say the side effects, you mean the
the white skin and the mouth and shit, like how the other people look and stuff.
I guess that does make a little bit more sense, but I feel like for for all the people in the movie theater, they all had like characteristics of the Joker as well as with it. I just don't know.
Well, I mean, they all had individual characteristics.
Yeah,
like they weren't literally the Joker. All of them, they had individual characteristics.
But yeah, I guess I can see where you're coming from. I guess it's just a fundamental, I guess disagreement on whether. I do respect it though. I respect your opinion.
All right.
Also, keep making the great content. I just started yesterday, and I love your content.
Thank you.
You should watch Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League as domestic terrorism. I think that's
See, I honestly haven't played Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Mainly because I don't like live service games. But from what I heard, I would rather stay away from it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hold on, SK. I might want to watch the video, but I'll let me go ask something. If not, I'll just tell you I'm gonna end it.
Alrighty. While we wait, I'm gonna make fun of Kairito for a bit. Kairito, you suck. You're a loser. Fucking sucks. Let's see if he notices. What is going on in chat? You couldn't take down 6 Lucas goons if you tried pimping. That's right. They're too powerful. They're too powerful. I don't know what to tell you. No green Lucas, no buy. Yeah, pretty much. Deadpool and Wolverine did not save the MCU. It just made me more hyped. Well, it's kind of saving it. If it's doing that. Collins opinion on the movie. He said it was a 9 out of 10. Said it was very good. Oh, it's smoky. Oh, Jesus. Smoky. You don't want the smoke? Don't pour the gasoline. That's what I'm gonna tell you, Smokey. Dude, I'm betting Smokey's gonna try to weasel his way into the VC. Weirdo he is. How do you feel about Robert Downey Jr. being Doom? I just feel nothing. Like, I'm not really invested in the other MCU stuff. I'm only really invested in this because Deadpool and Wolverine. So, I don't know. I really got nothing to say. I don't care. Are we doing a thumbcast on Batman Caped Crusader? Please, I'll be done with summer classes now. I have 2 weeks of free time. Absolutely. We'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah, I don't know when Batman Caped Crusader is coming out, so... Rat-faced fuck? Smokey, you look like a creep. I've seen your face. One of the weirdest mofos I've ever seen. But yeah, as far as... Maybe I'll just give some insight on what content to expect. Yeah, I'll make a quick praise of Deadpool and Wolverine in the video. And then after that, I'll probably get back to working on the Iron Man praise of the first movie, and then get to the second movie, because we rewatched them recently. And who knows, maybe I'll get to Iron Man 3 right afterwards, and get into war with a certain Australian. It's this Thursday, all episodes. Oh, okay. This Thursday, all episodes. Why would I go into VC? I don't want to get attacked by the stench. You don't want to get attacked in general, Smokey. You get scared of everything. What's your opinion on the first Iron Man while you're talking about it? Iron Man is awesome. 9 out of 10. Iron Man 2 is also awesome. I'd give that an 8 out of 10. I thought you didn't like Iron Man 1? I don't think I said I never liked it. I think at one point I thought there was quite a bit of plot issues. But you know, I rewatched it. I'm like, oh, that answers a lot. Helps to rewatch things in good faith too. This Thursday, okay. Like, you're 98% sure, so that means you aren't sure. I think Batnick just gave us an educated fucking wish right here. Also, Smokey, you said Capped Crusader. You didn't say Caped Crusader. It's a fucking classic League Entertainment mess up. What about First Avenger? I haven't seen First Avenger. You know, I'm thinking, well, because we rewatched Civil War, we'll probably take a look at First Avenger and Winter Soldier again. Maybe they'll be higher or lower, I don't know. But yeah, First Avenger, I can't really remember as far as what I'd have issues with. Winter Soldier, it's still decently fresh, as far as like where I think issues may lie. Like the whole, the broad daylight assassination attempt on Nick Fury. I don't know how that can be defended. That's just stupid. And I guess some of the plot armor in the fight scenes, just I can't really justify that to my memory. Or the final plan with Insight. But Iron Man 3 is a whole car crash. Iron Man 3 is terrible. Iron Man 3 is just terrible. It's a shame because there's like moments that are like, you know, that's really cool. But overall, Iron Man 3 is just... There's too many problems with it. Especially that villain. Oh man. That... It's one of the worst MCU villains. August 1st, I was right. Okay, yeah, it's August 1st. Jack Kirito still hasn't noticed the name change. They should have had Jon Favreau direct it. Iron Man 3? Well, I don't know if I'd say the directing is the problem. It really comes down to the script. Like, Iron Man is out of character, world building's bad, the villain has a bad motivation and a bad plan. So, yeah. I mean, this is just another thing I thought of, just casually talking about the problems, which I think Cinema Seeker brought up. I don't know where Rhodey was when Iron Man invited a terrorist to attack his house. I don't know where Rhodey was. Someone want to think about it when I rewatch it. It's like, he sees his best friend threatening a terrorist so brazenly and stupidly, and then he just doesn't check up on him, even though he's literally on the Mandarin case. So, like, even if Tony just forgets he has Iron Man suits, he's still got War Machine. Goofy goobers. Dude, what is taking Colin so long? Thought he was just asking a question. And realistically, the Avengers of S.H.I.E.L.D. would have pulled up. Yeah, in Iron Man 3, well, I suppose we don't know where Thor is, we don't know where Hulk is, but, like, S.H.I.E.L.D. absolutely should be involved in Iron Man 3. That's a huge problem that they're just absent. Like, the president was taken, they monitor potential threats all the time, and you're telling me they just took a vacation for this one. Like, okay. What's up, John? Bro's house got blown up. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think Tony was presumed dead in the public, even though they never found out. Which I thought S.H.I.E.L.D. wouldn't fucking buy that, so. Oh, you're back.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go do shit.
Oh, really? Okay, so we got no one else.
Yeah, we got no one else.
Got no one else.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you everyone for coming. But yeah,
Alrighty.
that's the end of it.
Alright, goodbye, people. I'll just answer some final shit. Who's winning, Batman or Black Noir?
Alright, I'll see you.
See ya. I probably fucking Batman. Can't wait to watch Deadpool and Wolverine later. Yeah, it's good. It's fire. The movie's fire. There's a lot of grease regarding this movie, though. Let's see. Yes, I've seen a lot of people really, I guess, stretching to take this one down, to take this movie down. It's been real entertaining. My favorite part of the movie was when Gambit pulled out his cards and then said, "Identity politics," and started bodying everybody. That was my favorite scene in the movie. Identity politics. Dude, I'm thinking of just trolling Kairito right now. Hey, Jack Kairito.
Fuck.
What's up?
Was I even in the Disagreement Day fucking waiting room?
No, I just wanted to troll you right before I end the stream.
Oh fuck! What's up, Sneeko Kentner? Fucking loser. Okay.
What do you think of Deadpool and Wolverine?
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Is
you
Stir
haven't
coming in
seen
today?
That's
why I wasn't. That's why I didn't listen because
I haven't seen Stir. I haven't seen Stir here.
I thought he was telling you Monday, bro. He was telling Colin Monday.
Oh, he wanted the smoke. He wanted the smoke, but I don't see him.
So why don't the TVA have guns, bro? No, I'm kidding. It's still fucking stupid. I'm probably. That's still a fucking Deadpool Wolverine problem. I don't give a fuck.
Really?
I'm fucking the problem. It's all of their problems. Fucking everything that has the TVA, it's all of their problems.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
all of their
smoky.
problems.
Well, look who it is.
Look who it
Okay,
is.
I'll see you later. See you later.
See you later. Smokey, you smell like fucking shit.
You smell like rat shit.
You smell like
rat
shit,
face.
bro. You belong in the sewer.
Rat face.
You belong
rat
in the
face.
sewer.
Rat
You belong in the sewer, pimpin'.
You're literally a mutant. You're a mutant.
Okay, you're smoking shit. You're literally shit that has been set on fire, and you are the smoke of it. That is who you are.
I have a disagreement.
What is your disagreement?
My disagreement is that you're fat. But anyway, my real disagreement
that's all you
is
got.
that no, some of the CG, I don't know if it's CGI, but like some of like the animations were kind of off. Like I think there was like way too much blood in the first. Oh, I'm cutting off.
No, I think you're off. I think you're off. That's what I was saying.
Oh, what do you mean?
You're off.
What do you mean I'm off?
You're off.
What do you mean?
You're off. That's what I mean.
Off is in what?
The same way you used it, pimpin'. You don't know what the words you use even mean?
Yes, I do, pimpin'.
But then why are you asking?
You're a little strange little creature, aren't you?
You're a strange little creature who doesn't know the definition of
You're like a little centipede, bro.
You're a fucking leech.
Look.
You're a parasite.
Little cockroach underneath my shoe, little bug.
You're a disgusting ass creature.
I'm disgusting, but at least I'm not a slimy mutant. Dirty,
you are
stinking
slime.
mutant.
There's slime all over you.
It's actually mucus. Get it right.
You are a grease monster. You're a grease monster.
It's a mucus. Get it right, SK. I'm like a frog.
You're a grease slime. Oh, don't give me that in there. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
Stench. The pinnacle of stench.
But other than that, I think there's just the little scenes could be a little off looking, like when Deadpool and Wolverine jumped off the back of that bus. Full Rosa Parks style.
Again.
Hey, did you watch it in 3D or what?
I said I'd have to see it in HD again. I've only watched it once in the theater. And I've only rewatched that scene online. So I can't go to the theater. Maybe
is it YouTube porn? Yeah. And they spoil. They didn't really spoil, but like they show way too much in the marketing.
They might have, yeah. Yeah, they might have.
Especially with the X-23. Was it X-29 or 23?
23, yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, it was a pretty nice movie. It was an enjoyable movie. At first, I thought it was like a 8 out of 10, but then I was like, I really enjoyed that movie. I haven't laughed that hard in a movie in a long time. I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9. I was fired.
It's alright. It's alright. But no, I'm ready for. Huh?
What are you ready for?
So I'm ready for Cape Crusader. I'm waiting for I know y'all didn't really care about Doctor Doom, but like I'm trying to see how they're gonna do it because I hope they don't mess it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck?
I think I might have preferred if they were going that route, maybe a superior Iron Man.
Yeah, that'd been way cooler.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if they teased Doctor Doom before, or it's the first time we've seen Doctor Doom. I hope the Fantastic Four project goes good.
Why didn't Spider-Man call the Fantastic Four? Is he stupid?
Why was Spider-Man wear a bag over his face? He was stupid. Our Spider-Man.
Absolutely trash.
He's got Bonato. Said Stuart King built his Discord in a cave with a bunch of stupid idiots.
Well then,
Yeah.
we're at an end point. Obviously, no more disagreements. So, thank you all for coming on. I was expecting more smoke for the Deadpool and Wolverine.
Honestly, dude, I've seen a lot of people just hate this movie.
People have been relentless with this at points, and then I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
come on the disagreement day. It's very.
They were mad because they was mad because he got more money than the Marvels, and they were saying like, some dude out here, he was like, man, the reason why it was a good movie because it's a men's movie. Said, yeah, the reason why the Marvels wasn't good because it's a woman's movie. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, what does gender have to do if it's a male movie?
It's
or not?
Dom the dishonest
no.
piece of shit.
Ruh-roh, it's Dom. Oh no.
Supply disagreement.
You sound very scared right now. What's going on?
Samson.
You
You showed up at the end. You showed up at the end point.
Oh yeah, I know. I just wanted to say Logan is way better than this movie. It's way better.
Okay, well,
and that's just common knowledge.
Okay.
That's just common knowledge, right?
It's still a great movie.
Yeah, and Logan's better. And Logan's better.
Yeah.
Logan is way better.
I didn't disagree, fam.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't disagree. It sounds like you kind of are. It sounds like you kind of are.
That's not what
sure?
I said, fam.
You sure? Sounds like you were about to. Sounds like you were about to.
You want the smoke?
No.
Yeah.
Is this a disagreement?
Yeah, maybe I do.
All right,
Maybe I do.
I'm gonna say things to Dom that I'm not allowed to say on stream, so I'm gonna end it right here. This